Hello everybody and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today I've got another game from the Global Game Jam 2015. This one is called The Bees and involves us carrying a swarm of bees basically by painting the ground with a trail of pheromones so they don't die in the winter cold. We're going to do our best here to try and keep them out of the creeping death as the screen moves upward, and we'll see if we can avoid any obstacles and try and keep the swarm together to the best of our ability. I thought this game actually served as a really nice counterpoint to yesterday's episode where I kind of pointed out that although the gameplay was a lot of fun, I felt like the music really held it back. In this case, I think the production values and the music in particular really do a good job of keeping my interest on this game. So why don't we actually just jump into it and we'll do our best here. So after the hive is destroyed, your colony must undertake a journey that will lead to a new life. Keep moving forward. Turning back is not an option. The sweeping death is always right behind you. I love that it's capitalized, the sweeping death. It's a serious thing. Okay, so the lights turn on, and our cursor is where we're painting our pheromones, and the bees will be attracted to that trail of pheromones clearly. So we just need to keep swirling and spiraling away from any obstacles and try and keep the swarm moving up and away from the bottom of the screen. It seems like a very simple concept here. I'm just very curious to know how they're gonna, throw a twist into this and make it something a little bit strange and unique. I mean, the premise by itself is strange and unique, but right now I feel like there's not a lot of ways that this could be particularly challenging, right? Well, I guess some of the bees are kind of falling into the water, which is a bit of a problem. So maybe we'll keep them in places that are a little bit more, in tune with the idea of keeping things alive. Oh, I guess the bees are just kind of dropping off the bottom of the screen no matter what I do. So maybe it wasn't the water in particular. So let's keep pushing up here. Let's keep going up. I don't know if there's like a better way to orient the bee. Oh, don't go into that spider web. That would be a problem right there. Oh, look at all those dead bees. Okay, this is real bad. All right, keep going, keep going. Let's keep the concentration of pheromones fairly high. Up towards the top here. I always love any game where you get to control, like, a lot of units of any particular type. I was always attracted to that, the Neverwinter Nights game. Sorry, not Neverwinter Nights. 99 Nights. That's that one that was like a combat brawler, kind of like a Dynasty Warriors, but with a ton of troops all at the same time. There's something about just trying to manage massive numbers of things as they're just presently dying in front of you. It's like, how far away from death can you keep this large group of people or presences, entities, whatever you want to call them? I don't know, something about that I find that interesting. That you can be this general of like this macro world. I guess the Total War series would also serve as a fairly good example of something like that. In this case, though, obviously we've got a bit of a different thing because it wasn't so much about navigating your troops through spider webs so they don't get stuck to the walls and die. It was more about, engaging in combat. There's not much combat going on here, just the daily presence of combat from one moment to another. I do like that we get to draw these little lines in between all these obstacles and try and keep things going. This actually served pretty well as like an iOS mobile style game too. I could see this working fine, that you would just draw on it with your finger. Why are the bees all going to the left? I haven't drawn any pheromones over there. Is there just an intrinsic cloud of pheromones on that side? I think there very well may be. No, I've drawn a little bit too close to that. Oh, they've all gone into the spider web. Alright, it looks like we've shifted from like the fall region to like present winter now. It seems like we've got a lot more of a blue color palette happening. And again, I mentioned the music earlier, but the graphical style here is really classy and, quite elegant as well. Oh, we've done it. After much struggle you endured, you made it through the hardships encountered on your journey and outran the sweeping death. Waited, but we're still moving. There's still more ahead. Keep going. But winter has set in. There is no new hive, and your colony inevitably perishes. No, we're still alive. You can see right there, we're still going. Was I supposed to set up a colony? Was that part of this challenge? I wasn't told to do that. I was just kind of like trying to outwheedle the world. I was trying to get through all the slaloms and slopes of the various types of problems that bees run into, I guess. Weird. Alright, well, I guess we'll just keep playing in the background even though the game seems to be over. I was imagining, too, that this would be a really interesting thing to do as sort of like almost like a grand strategy game, but for bees. I know that sounds like an insane thing to say, but like, we take new premises all the time. I'm imagining you set up colonies in various places and you try and, like, manage the overall health of your species as, like, the bee overlord. And I don't mean that you have to actually be the bee overlord. You could just be, like, the guiding force that keeps the species proliferating and moving on, and you could try to make strategic decisions that would benefit all of your various colonies and hives, and maybe you'd run into emergent details along the way that would, endanger your lives or make things more difficult, or maybe make, decisions that would need to be adjusted for, things like that. We're actually still alive. I know we're deep into the heart of winter here, Jon Snow, and I think we're still going to be able to keep going for quite a while yet. At this point, they've run out of obstacles to throw at us. I wish we knew if there was a way we could have survived this whole ordeal. I grew a little bit attached to these little flitting dots of bees that we seem to have here. They all just seem to be giving up now at the bottom. I'm not sure. They're not really driving onward. Maybe they've run out of juice. There's only so long that a bee can fly before eventually it's got to land on a flower and suck some nectar, bring it back to the hive, and do all of its bee things, I suppose. I could also see it would be interesting if you did the bee grand strategy game to see how you living in a certain area would affect the other species and the other life forms that would be in that area too, because, well, let's be honest, bees can make a pretty big impact to, well, the whole world at large. I mean, I don't need to get into it, I'm sure, but the whole agrarian life cycle revolves around these guys, and, well, from one moment to the next, you've got the micro where you build a hive on the side of somebody's house and they get pissed off at you, which, more of a wasp thing, I'd say. I'm not sure bees do that as much. But, they could pester some human that calls an exterminator, kills your colony, versus you see over the scale of, like, thousands of years, people have started to creep in and, destroy you entirely, whole cloth like that, and that would be a bit of a problem, I'm sure, for the game. So maybe there'd be a way that you could, like, reverse the detrimental effects of living on Earth versus the human population. Maybe you'd pick what era you want to live in. I don't know why I've gone off on such a huge tangent, but I guess I like the idea of a bee game simulator. It doesn't have to star Jerry Seinfeld or anything either. So I think we've gotten to the end of what was rendered for us to be around inside of here. It looks like we can actually continue on even though there's no more land being rendered, but, that's fun. So I guess that's going to do it for the bees. I managed to make it this whole way without making a Nicolas Cage joke, and unfortunately I couldn't quite make it to the finish line, but I tried my best. Thanks everybody for watching. It was a bit of an interesting one. I would like to know if anybody's able to figure out a way to get your bees through the winter. I would be the first one to go back and redo this whole thing. I'd love to have my bees survive. I care about these little guys. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. That was another episode. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the bees. You can try it in your browser for freeze. There's going to be a link in the description, as well as, just leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this. Keep the discussion going. Leave a like as well if you enjoyed the video, and be sure to come back again tomorrow. Get it? Be sure to come back again tomorrow, because there'll be another episode of Indie Impressions every single day. And if you enjoy the idea of finding about a new artistic, original, unique indie game every single day, make sure you subscribe to the channel, as it helps out a whole bunch. So I'll see you all later, and thank you so much for watching.